All these places are real. All these places you read about in the Bible are real. They're not up in the sky.
Yeah.
They're down on earth. If you look at the miracle of the fish, that's where it was.
Yeah.
If you look at all the other things that are described in the Christian Bible, in the New Testament, that's there.
And then all of a sudden, a little dog, a King Charles Spaniel, runs out of the crowd of the people of Gaza, the Palestinians, and runs toward the Jewish soldiers. And that dog, when he heard Hebrew being spoken,
Oh my goodness.
he broke rank. The dog heard Hebrew.
My goodness.
Said, that's home for me. Israel is a first-class world. It's not a third world by any means. Medicine here is equal or superior to the United States. All their technology equal or superior to the United States. And so many things that you mentioned, I think, yesterday about the agriculture there. Where the last trumpet will be sounded, where there'll be that great battle in Armageddon, the dirt there in the valley of Jezreel, the plain of Israeli, is the most fertile dirt on the earth. Right there. And you see that Israel today is blossoming. I came here the first time, Matt and Laurie, in, I think, 1965.
My goodness.
The city was divided. As you know, that's prior to the 6-Day War. And it was a different world there. All the Turks and others had really cut down all the trees. This was not a green land. And to say how since 1948, and I credit Harry Truman with that as much as anybody, this was reestablished as what has always been the land of Israel, the land of the Jewish people. My goodness, how the planning, how the beauty. It is one of the most beautiful places just from an outside observation of what's happened here in this whole area. And so that's thrilling to me.
When did you what was the impetus and who did you come with and what was your origin story?
I came with Wayne Mahoney. Wayne Mahoney had brought thousands of people here, and some of my pastor friends were coming, and I came with a little group, and because I was so excited to go to his land. And then I came through the years, Billy Graham had a tour thing called His Land, which is a great name. And so I have come and brought tours here since that first experience, which I never will forget.
Yeah.
And by the way, safety here. You are safer here, ladies and gentlemen, than you are, I would say, in any city in the United States of America. But what happens here is so blown up in America and around the world because it is the center of the world.
Yeah.
And it's at the center, so many things join in little bitty Palestine and little bitty Israel right here. All the civilizations come together. You think God knew what he was doing in the fullness of time? He sent forth his son right here in this place. Experience of a lifetime. You'll never get over. Remember the warning. If you come once, that's terrific. But you want to bring other people. You want them to experience what you have experienced.
You know, they have developed the different sites to what's the word I'm looking for?
Holy sites, the archaeological sites?
Archaeological sites.
Gordon's Calvary.
Oh my goodness.
Something.
I mean, there's stuff I want to go see, you know, that they have discovered and fixed up, and it's just amazing. So if you haven't come for a few years, there's so much more that they have found and that they have
uncovered.
Yeah, it's just
dug up.
Yeah.
In fact,
Crazy.
I got in trouble at a archaeological dig with the mayor of Jerusalem at the time, Nir Barkat, member of parliament, and there was off camera. I could see hands moving, and there was some commotion going on. But I figured if I'm, I'm with the mayor of Jerusalem in an archaeological dig. What's wrong with that? So I started picking into the wall and trying to uncover a piece of pottery that I pulled it out like this, and I looked over and I saw some doctor, his eyes were about that big. They're waving and I'm smiling at him with this little piece. And I love the archaeological side of this. In fact, I just thought about it not long ago. Laurie and I brought Dr. Phil McGraw
Sure.
over to last year.
Mm-hmm.
Funny little story. The Prime Minister came here to the TBN studios, and the security detail had us guessing on a lot of things, and sure enough, the Prime Minister showed up about a half an hour early. And so, you know, I do my normal thing. I walked in. Yeah. I walked in here and was doing my normal routine of looking at the camera positions, just like I was doing today earlier. And I look over, and literally Benjamin Netanyahu standing there. He'd gotten in without me knowing it. And I said, Mr. Prime Minister, you're early. And he said, yeah, I'm ready to go. And I said, well, let's put a mic on you and sit down. Okay, well, I'll tell you a little funny story. I find out about that time, Dr. Phil's in his boxer shorts downstairs. So he wasn't quite ready to do the interview. So I sat down where you are, and the Prime Minister sat down, and I actually asked him about tourism and about the hotel that we built in the north, and a little word from the Prime Minister about tourism right here in Israel. Welcome to Jerusalem.
Been here. Thank you.
I wanted to just give you a report. First of all, America loves you. Doesn't matter what our press says.
Thank you.
Okay. And we are building, and we are supporting, and we are investing in Israel, even at a time of difficulty here. And help me explain the project in Capernaum that we have now executed, 300 rooms. Where did this idea come from?
Well, I thought that when people come to Israel, they want to walk in the footsteps of Jesus. There's so many Christian friends of Israel who come here, and they come here, they go to the Sea of Galilee, they go to the Mount of Beatitudes, they go to Jerusalem, obviously, they go to Bethlehem. But when they go to the Sea of Galilee, which is where Jesus preached for 3 years in the town of Capernaum, Par Nahum in Hebrew, means Nahum's village. And he was there. There's a big church there that is there. You can see the remnants of that church still standing. And I thought, well, why not have a hotel there? Why not have a biblical center so people can see this place that is so important to Jewish heritage, but also to the emergence of Christianity and our common heritage. And I thought, well, I invited some well-known Christian leaders who have big followings, and I said, why don't you build a hotel here? And I think your father was among them.
He was.
And so we built the hotel.
Yeah.
And you're doing great things.
The report is it's open, 300 rooms, and we're hoping that you'll come and help me cut the ribbon to open it officially. But it is, we have our certificate of occupancy, and we're building in Israel.
Well, I hope people come there, and because all these places are real. All these places you read about in the Bible are real. They're not up in the sky.
Yeah.
They're down on earth. If you look at the miracle of the fish, that's where it was.
Yeah.
If you look at all the other things that are described in the Christian Bible, in the New Testament, that's there. It's right there.
Your first time in Israel was on our honeymoon.
Yes.
And now we've been married 40 years this year. So by the time the tour comes in November, we'll have been married more than 40 years. Good Lord.
Woo.
Good Lord. Jeez.
We did it, honey.
Goodness. And
Every year is better than the one before.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. People don't understand that. It's absolutely true.
yeah,
We might
absolutely.
as well just write it to the rims.
Yeah, we might as well just go on, huh? So
Come this far.
come with us. November
I'm going to try to get
2025.
my son and my grandbaby, to come on this way.
Yeah.
And of course, Audrey.
Because
can't leave without Audrey.
our new little grandbaby, his name is Shai Alexander Crouch, and he already has a passport. So
Yes, and he's 6
and-
weeks old
and it's
today.
the cutest little
Got
thing
his
you've
little
ever
passport.
seen.
So he's
you,
ready to
you
come.
can bring your kids, generally speaking. You have
And your
to,
grandbabies.
and I don't know about your grandbabies.
Let's do
now.
it.
Better think about that. But, you know, my family, I brought my boys over here when they were young. My son Cliff, when he was a senior in high school, we had a school in our church, and we teamed up with the Hebrew University. And we brought a bunch of high school kids over here, and they went on an archaeological dig.
Wow.
Bet Shan is there today.
Bet Shan.
And that's when they didn't know Bet Shan was there.
Wow.
And so Cliff was there, and I said, Cliff, this is not Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's going to be boring. You're going to be a bunch of archaeologists. They're going to have you, you know, sifting things, looking for potsherds or something. I said, just get ready for that. So they had, you know, the Raiders idea. Well, they were in Bet Shan with his buddy, and they were walking around. They saw a hole in the ground, high school kids, and they began to dig the hole. The main dig was over here. They dropped down in that hole, and they dropped down into a temple that no one had been in there for thousands of years. And that was what Bet Shan, they didn't know all Bet Shan was there.
Oh.
They didn't know anything about it. So talk about archaeology. And so we're proud of that fact. They went and didn't pull something out of the wall. They dropped in a hole. And a lot of the things they found there are now in the museum here in Jerusalem.
Wow.
Kids, they will love it more than anything.
You can't keep that.
Hezekiah's tunnel.
You guys can't keep that kind of stuff. You have to leave it here. So yes, we.
So if you're an adventurous type, there's Hezekiah's tunnels, and man, you have to kind of squeeze through the rock, and you're underground, and if you got claustrophobia, that is not your gig. But if you're adventurous and you want to slide through, and sometimes there's water up to your ankles in there, and you know, anyway.
By the way, the food here is terrific. A little side note, that's something I'm interested in.
Yep.
Terrific food. A little different
amazing
than what we're used to. You'll not have any pork, but other than that, it is superior every
no bacon. I've heard.
Best diet ever.
All right. So, in conclusion, you know, give us your final thoughts and kind of wrap it up, and let's kind of say our final thoughts.
What happened about 3 weeks ago, Gaza?
Okay.
Israel had troops there, and they were there in the population, and there was a distance of maybe, I don't know, 30 or 40 yards from the citizens, the Palestinians there. And then all of a sudden, a little dog, a King Charles Spaniel, runs out of the crowd of the people of Gaza, the Palestinians, and runs toward the Jewish soldiers. And one soldier leans down, and a little dog jumps into his arms.
My goodness.
And he didn't know what to think about that. Here's a dog from over there, runs to him. And so he keeps the dog, and he keeps it with him for a couple of days as the troops are there. Then when he comes back to Jerusalem, he knows the dog has a chip. And so he goes to a vet and discovered who the owner of the dog was. And it was a man and his wife. And they were there on the fateful day in October, and they were taken, and he took the dog with him. He had been killed there in Gaza within the last month, but they had kept his dog. And that dog, when he heard Hebrew being spoken,
oh my goodness,
he broke rank.
My goodness.
And ran to those soldiers. And when they found out the chip, they went to the family and said, yes, that was our son and his wife's dog.
My goodness.
And I thought about that. And so they gave the King Charles back to the family that was left where the husband, whose dog it was, had been killed in Gaza. I thought about that. I know my sheep, and they know me. And when I call, they come. The dog heard the Hebrew.
My goodness.
Said, that's home for me.
My goodness.
And he ran to home. You will feel in Israel many times, I trust you. You'll hear a voice, and you'll be just like that King Charles Spaniel. You'll come home. Home to God, home to Christ. And many go back a different way. Brand new. Current history. Hebrew. The dog knew, that's my family. You'll feel that when you come to Israel.
My goodness. It's our home.
Yes, it is.
We can call this the Welcome Home Tour. November 21 through 30. Pastor Ed, thank you for being one of the tour hosts. You'll be here We have a lot of people being invited. All of that will be updated throughout the year. But we just wanted to come to you and invite you starting here in May of 2025. We're here celebrating the 77th birthday of Israel. And it's this fall, right here, November 21 through 30. We'll see you here. Come join us. Come celebrate
Thanksgiving with us
in
in Israel.
Jerusalem.